The travel was unsurprisingly fast, way flashier than Son Goku's instant transmission, but in that sense, far less convenient. Cooler was observing the absolute confidence that Beerus was radiating around them. He could understand it, sort of. Back when his family had this whole pinnacle of evolution shtick, he was also a victim of such a point of view. The difference being that he was a mere mortal. The god of destruction was asleep for the last, give or take, 39 years, which meant that he did not have to train or improve his strength. The gap back then would have been unimaginable. He still toyed with him, back on cooler Planet Zero, but at least he was able to save a lot of dignity by being resistant. This whole thought was mortifying to the Emperor on a certain cellular level. He did encounter the Supreme Kai, whom he could take on without an issue, no problem, but this Beerus was on a whole other level, not only where it came to mortals, but also his fellow gods in this universe. Although, remembering the hard lesson he received with the Saiyans, he was astutely aware that pride usually comes before the fall. And Cooler was sure that it also applied toward deities, no matter how strong they thought they really were. As they arrived on Earth, they realized that the Saiyans and the Earthlings were having some sort of a celebration. They appeared on some sort of aquatic vessel of sorts. No doubt ownership of Bulma, Cooler thought. As they were looking around, he heard a familiar voice.
Cooler, what is the meaning of this? And who is that with
Vegeta's voice sounded as if he'd drowned in his own throat when he looked at the cat. It seemed like some particularly painful memories were released within his mind.
Ah, Prince Vegeta. It's been a bit of a while.
Beerus smiled with his sharp teeth.
Who?
The Saiyan started to utter.
I am accompanying the God of Destruction, Lord Beerus. He is looking for a Super Saiyan God. You wouldn't happen to know of any, would you?
Cooler gave him a warning look, which was unusually empathetic as far as the Emperor went. It was at this time that the prince realized that they were both on the same boat, not just literally, but also figuratively.
You see, the good old Cooler wasn't enough to give me my fun, but it seems that there are a few of you over here. Maybe one of you is God. I hope for your sake that they are, because otherwise I will be very disappointed. And Vegeta, you know how disappointed I can get. Of course, but before that, why won't you join the celebration? We're celebrating my wife's birthday, Bulma. There is much tasty food waiting for you, yes. Well, we just ate, but it wouldn't be rude to say no, wouldn't it, Whis?
Oh, most certainly, my lord. As the deity in his right hand, Angel, started to move toward the party, Vegeta approached Cooler and in a tone, voice or something, which was basically him shout-whispering, he asked, "Why did you bring him here?"
"Can't you tell, you dumb monkey? He was planning to travel here anyway. Are Son Goku or Son Gohan around? Maybe they can tire him out. There is no way either of us is going to be able to defeat him, Vegeta. Trust me, I tried. He could destroy me if he wanted. I know. Remember, when he visited us on planet Vegeta, it isn't particularly a good memory of mine. Gohan is here, but Kakarot went to King Kai's place. We are expecting him to join."
The Emperor crossed his arms.
"Well then, make sure to warn your people not to taunt the cat. He can be rather petty and impetuous, all things considered." "You think I don't know that, Cooler? All right, let's stall him. Hopefully Gohan can take him on if it has to come to that." "Well, he's already had a few drinks already." Vegeta looked away. "What? Don't you have those magical bees to sober him up instantly? I swear these kids are growing up way too fast."
Cooler waved his tail angrily at the impetulance as they went to rejoin everyone. "Oh, I didn't expect the Emperor of the Universe to be a guest on my birthday. You weren't on the list, but I see you even brought friends." Bulma was being quite chatty, unaware of the danger that was awaiting her.
"Hello, Bulma. Happy birthday,"
Cooler said in a very deadpan way that did not reflect the sentiment.
"And these fine individuals are the God of Destruction himself, Lord Beerus, and his attendant Whis."
"Another god, huh? What brings you here, buddy?" Krillin smiled, attempting to seem friendly.
"Call me buddy one more time, and I will destroy you," the deity uttered bluntly,
causing Krillin to pale in fear. "Hey, Don't talk to my husband like that. Android 18 wasn't having none of that.
Or, what will you do, little girl?
The cat was amused. Vegeta luckily interjected himself into the conversation in a rather surreal, happy way.
Why won't we get to the first great attraction of Bulma's birthday party, the bingo tournament?
What's bingo? Cooler asked the nearest person, who, in this case, was the host herself. Bulma smirked at the prospect. Oh, you'll have to stay and see. And in fact, it's, something. The Emperor would never expect to see Vegeta of all people singing and dancing, especially such a shilly tune. Despite the tense nature of the situation, even Cooler could find the whole deal a little bit humorous given their history, especially the occasional glares he was getting from the performer himself. Originally, I did not wish to come, Bulma, but now... Cooler paused, realizing that Beerus and Whis were not watching and instead were approaching Majin Buu and Hercule. Oh, they were approaching Majin Buu and Hercule. Damn it, he was right. They shouldn't have left that blob alive. Are they trying to make him shed that? Oh, no. The Emperor let out a deep sigh. Too late, as the scuffle for pudding quickly turned into a full-blown battle. What's happening? They're ruining my party! Bulma yelled at Cooler.
They will ruin your planet in a moment if we don't calm him down. Take all the guests that are not fighters and... Wait, where's Gohan? Gohan!
Bulma pointed at a little bit tipsy young man sitting at one of the tables, hardly realizing what the hiffle was going on. The alien quickly dashed toward him. Oh, hi, Lord Cooler. I didn't know you'd be here. Have you heard the news? I'm gonna be a dad. Isn't that funny?
Not now, boy. We need you to focus. See that feline entity over there? He is looking for a Super Saiyan God. If he isn't getting a Super Saiyan God soon, he may destroy everything and everyone that you care about, including your unborn fetus.
That's not very nice.
Damn it, Gohan, focus!
The Emperor lost his patience and slapped the young man across his face, which was quite sobering. I swear you Saiyans could be so callous. All right. I think I'm here. My head's still heavy. Well, I hope you give him the right challenge to knock some more sense into you. Cooler looked around the shoulder, where Beerus was already holding Buu by his antenna and swinging him like a lasso. He used that moment to give the son of Goku some advice when fighting the destroyer. The things that he was able to notice during their little beef of a brief encounter of a cat kind. He warned him that he wasn't going to win. He was there mostly for entertainment. This did not awaken much confidence in the young man, though, especially with a smack across the face from just now. All right. Gohan focused and then went into his ultimate form. He felt like this elevated state was rapidly burning out the intoxication from his system. Good thing. His gaze soon looked focused. Obviously, others were trying to stop the rampaging cat, but they were feeling even more so. Gotenks, Android 18, Krillin, Piccolo, no match at all. Hey, Lord Beerus, I heard you're looking for a powerful Saiyan. Well, here I am.
Ah, finally. I was about to blow this damn place up due to the arrogance of the big blob over there, but it might make my time worth it. Which one are you? The father or the son? I would guess the son. There was a weird expression on Gohan's face at the lackadaisical nature of the cat.
Well, the Emperor speaks highly of you. To be honest, if you aren't going to deliver, both of you might be in trouble. Cooler shook his head. That's not how their deal was supposed to work, but the deity honestly didn't care. Why would he? Who was going to hold him to his own word? An even bigger and stronger deity? Who would imagine that? And as such, the duel started. This time, Beerus was the aggressive one, but Gohan managed to dodge a few initial attacks. So far, so good. But the Emperor didn't really have much long-lasting hope. Unless the Saiyans had created something insane during their training regime that would allow them to get beyond the levels of a god, which was unlikely, he wouldn't see the son of Goku winning this. Very quickly, he was proven right. Gohan had moved to try and push the strikes against Beerus, some of them were even successful, and the deity wasn't trying to slow down his punches, and to him, this was a continuation of his fight with Cooler, so he wasn't even attempting to grant the young man a free punch or anything like that. And yet again, just like the Emperor, the boy went on the offensive.
You know what's the issue with you modern warriors, said the cat. You overstate the role of defense. Before creation, there is,
Beerus started to charge a giant ball of energy, destruction, he said, throwing the projectile at the sea in order to cause gigantic waves. Cooler, Vegeta, and everybody else were busy with keeping the ship together, while Gohan was now fighting the god of destruction within the storm, between the gigantic waves.
Aren't you going to try and help?
Cooler yelled at Whis, breaking one of the waves with a strike before it hit the ship.
Me?
Oh, heavens no! The advisor giggled. The Emperor truly hated that one. What was even his deal, he thought? Well, he didn't have a lot of time to ponder that, since he saw Beerus' opponent weakening and getting hit even more frequently. It was weird to see Gohan in this form struggling with anything after what happened earlier, although the boy was nowhere near giving up. At some point, he even took a page out of Cooler's own book and headbutted the cat, which only resulted in something that could be likened to hitting a brick wall.
Too slow and soppy. This is your Super Saiyan God?
The destroyer looked at the Emperor coldly.
I hadn't made the promise, my lord. You dreamt it. I only told you about the strong Saiyans on planet Earth and nothing more. Whatever you say was all in your head. And so far, this one isn't much more entertaining than yourself.
Beerus then caught Gohan's fist and twisted it.
Strong for a mortal, but not nearly the level of a god. I guess it was a waste of time after all. I'm afraid I'll have to destroy this disappointing place.
Hey! Wait! A voice could be heard from up above. Oh, about time, Cooler said, with a slight hint of relief. It was Son Goku. Although if Gohan could not do much to the destroyer, then what would be his chances up there?
And you are?
Beerus was still bored.
My name's Son Goku, and you must be Lord Beerus. I've been told that you're looking for a rather strong Super Saiyan God, huh?
Indeed. Or another type of entertainment, I'm not fussy. But neither this one or the Emperor of the entire damn universe were that impressive.
I'll tell you what, Lord Beerus. If you give us one day, I'm sure we can think of something.
One day? What was this fool even thinking? Cooler and Vegeta exchanged looks.
You dare to barter with me, Saiyan?
The deity's eyes narrowed, but Goku wasn't losing his positive disposition.
Well, I mean, if we fail, we'll destroy all of that anyway, right? There's a chance that we can provide you with the fight you're looking for. Fun.
We can eat all of this food here, Lord Beerus. I don't think that's a bad idea, waiting one more day. Whis chimed in, visibly curious.
All right, one day. How much is this going to be?
Beerus released Gohan, who was pretty tired. Luckily, Krillin was already flying for some sensu beans. His attendant explained to him the ratio of clicks to seconds, and the destroyer agreed. One day would be granted. Meanwhile, Goku gathered everyone so they could collect the Dragon Balls. Of course they would resort to doing that, Cooler thought. But he couldn't blame them. After all, Shenron was a precious repository of knowledge. As they heard the legend of Yamoshi, they also learned of a ritual that could allow one to transform into a Super Saiyan God.
Well, you do have one problem, said Cooler. You are lacking one Saiyan. You would need 6, and one of you will be taking part.
Goku pondered this for a while.
Oh, that's true. We do have 6 in total.
Suddenly, the young girl that Cooler came to know as Videl, Gohan's mate, chimed in.
Well, if I may suggest something, I don't know if it would count, but...
And she explained the ordeal about her pregnancy to everyone, surprising everyone and making Gohan bumble like a fool. Oh yeah, they do that. Cooler was so unused to that concept, he didn't even consider it.
All right, which one of you will participate?
The Beerus cat asked.
Well, I guess it's your turn, Dad.
Gohan smiled weakly. Although his body was healed by the beans, Cooler could feel that he'd rather not repeat the experience of facing Beerus anytime soon, so was glad that Goku would take up the challenge.
All right, well, I'm not a fan. It almost feels like cheating, you know?
Goku scratched his head. That shouldn't matter for now. If you displease Beerus, you will erase everything from existence, including your souls. So you better take the damn hint.
Yeah, you're probably right.
As Cooler and Piccolo were the only non-Saiyans watching the ritual, they witnessed a weird spectacle. Everyone's hair turned golden, even Videl's. So it was true then. You can transfer Saiyan power to other beings. A note for later. Perhaps that's why Cell was such a formidable entity. The Emperor did not have a lot of time to ponder about this though, as he just witnessed the birth of a Super Saiyan God, who was ready to take on any opponent. And that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now.